This is Dingleberry-effected. My name is your dad, and today's model is sponsored by Tanuki Figures. Is sponsored by Tanuki Figures. Now, I gotta be totally honest here, I have absolutely no idea who this guy is, but apparently his name is Static Shock. And the only thing I know about Static Shock is, when you do this, and then touch your... Now, we all know my feelings about the whole story before getting into the making of the video. I'm just gonna start doing things, and I'm gonna start out by making the base. I'm gonna glue everything together, and we'll come back once I've done that and primed most of the things. And now that I have the base primed, I can move over to the clear parts, and the clear parts need to be painted to match the model. And on this particular model, there is this like water section, and for that, I'm going to be using this Pterodon turquoise. Yes, that one. But for the electrical bits, I'm going to be using this Talisar blue, and I'm going to spray it just very carefully from the bottom, leaving quite a fair amount of the clear stuff. And then I'm going to spray it with a gloss clear coat and call those parts done. So I had no way of holding this piece, so I just taped a pair of pliers on it. That's one way of holding things if you have no way of holding things. Any way is a way. Of course, if you need to ever hold something obscurely, you're going to need to place it in the most obscure place in order for it to dry. Now that we have the easy bit out the way, let's get working on the rest of the model. And for this model, I'm going to start out with the zenithal for multiple reasons. I'm going to explain some of those reasons as we go along. Obviously, I'm going to be using specifically the zenithal for the direction of the light in most of the cases. And for the stop sign, for example, this is actually going to be the color that is left behind when I paint the rest of the stop sign. Now, I want to actually start adding some of the colors that might hurt your brain a little bit, and this is because his boots and his belt have yellow on them. So I'm going to use Pinkle that I would usually use for skins, which you can see me using in the skins right here. I added that on every single part that I wanted to be yellow as well. I then took a little bit of a red, and this is a contrast red in this case because I still have not got any red ink in the shop, and I sprayed that into the shadows of the skin tones. And while that was drying, I can now come back onto painting the yellow bits. And as you can see, by spraying yellow over the top of that pink, it gives a nice warm orange shadow. It makes the shadows more interesting and less poo-poo. Speaking of poo-poo, you need to take a brown color and paint that onto the base if you're going to be painting this base. And on this base, it is actually the roadside that has been broken up. However, you can see a little bit of gravel underneath that roadside, which is obviously not roadside and it's not tar. So I want to try and differentiate from those parts, and to do that I'm going to use gray on the top and brown on the sides. I'm also going to take a little bit of deck tan and just push some of those contrasts a little bit more on the edges. As you can see, that makes it look very nice and textured. I'm now going to take a little bit of a lighter brown and I'm going to just dry brush that over all the tips around the edge, and you can tell how the color is completely different to the top of the road. This helps to differentiate the sides and top of the base, making it look like I put more effort in. Now to paint that stop sign. Do you remember I said I was going to just leave the zenithal on? And look at how fantastic that is. Super easy. All I have to do is fill in the red. I'm now going to use a dark silver to paint the pole, and also use the gray to paint the back of the stop sign as well. I'm then going to take some of this Griff Charger gray and spray that into the shadows to just give it a bit more shape. That's because otherwise it would just be a little bit flatter than what I would like. I'm going to use that same ball red to paint the fire hydrant that is on this base as well. And this doesn't need too many layers, but just until you can't really see the textures from the dry brushing on the layer before. I also painted a blue onto that little peg that goes into the water, just so that it doesn't stand out too much from when the water is on top of it, because it's obviously clear. I then took a little bit of a darker brown and sprayed that just into the shadows of the edge of the base, specifically around the bottom. And speaking of shadows, I added some shadows using Carabao Crimson to that fire hydrant. And then to finish off the fire hydrant, I took some dark silver and painted the little, whatever you call the flourishings, the nuts and bolts and the crooks and crannies. I then took some tape and I taped out what would be a line that should be painted on the road, the stripes of the road. And I painted this by using a sponge. Basically, I just dipped the sponge into deck tan because obviously I wanted to paint yellow down here, and you can't paint yellow over anything other than white. Even though I showed you that you painted in paint, don't worry about it. I sponged it down because sponging it gives it a slightly more realistic effect. I then removed all of the tape and it looks like there is some stripes. I can then rest the stop sign in place and put on the water, as well as all of the sparking stuff all around the base. Speaking of sparking, I want to tell you about this week's fantastic sponsor, which is Tanuki Figures. And Tanuki Figures is a Patreon which you subscribe to monthly in order to get some of the most amazing sculpts in the areas of your own interest, if you are interested in these areas, obviously. And these files are available for you to 3D print on your 3D printer in your own home. These are amazing files sculpted by some amazing artists. And I want to say a massive thank you to Tanuki for sponsoring this video. By the way, if you're interested in the Static Shock model, you can get it right now for a 50% discount if you follow the link in my description. Thank you, Tanuki Figures, for sponsoring this video. Now, getting back to painting this model, I'm going to start going over the legs, because I need to start putting my model somewhere. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Putting a model down is the worst thing you can ever do, because after 3 hours, when you pick it back up again, it will be a bit stuck to your table and you're going to have a bad time. So I don't like to put them down as much as I can possibly help it, which is why I like to work from the ground up. It also helps me feel like I'm accomplishing something. For the pants, I literally just gave it a highlight. They're black pants, so there's not really much I need to do here. And some of the star features on this model are actually going to be things like his shoes, surprisingly, and also his face, obviously, and his emblem on his chest. We will pay attention to these things. For his shoes, I used black to paint back in the black that is on his shoes. As you may notice, they are predominantly black shoes with yellow trimming, but it is so much easier to get that shading into that yellow the way that I've done it. Just trust me. At least that's how I feel, and if you feel different, well then that's fine. That's what the comment section is for, down below, for you to leave some comments that maybe help boost the algorithm, or you can just tell me how you really truly feel. Moving on to the pants, there is a very difficult thing on these pants in particular, and that is a free-handed strap. Not one, but actually 2 free-handed straps down both sides of this pant, and this was done by painting deck tan first. I use a little bit of water to help the paint flow a little bit better, because if it is solid paint out the bottle, it would not flow and it would be absolutely impossible. Like really impossible. It would be so hard to do this. Just make sure you're using water to help make your paints flow. And then I can use that lovely Imperial Fist Yellow contrast paint to carefully go back over those lines, trying not to go over the edge, because if you go over the edge, it will turn to a slight greenish color, which will definitely look weird, but you also don't want to leave any of that deck tan behind, because that will also look weird. Now, moving on to his torso, I sprayed this using a black Templar, and this is just because I wanted to make sure it was a different black from the other things that I was using. I then used Luftwaffe, that color, to make a little bit of a shadow highlight on the top of this model. I then took that same color and painted it into the side bits of his torso vest thing. This is just to differentiate some of the panels. And then, as you can see, I took some black and painted the back panel with that black. This is to help separate everything and make it look a little bit more interesting and not so boring when you're looking at it. But as you can tell, it mostly looks muchly the same color. However, speaking of same color, I need to add a yellow line around the suit. And this is exactly why I didn't want to do this on the boots, because it is a very difficult task to do this. I have to very carefully paint that deck tan, because the deck tan is the roadmap for the yellow. However, the yellow can still not overspill over the deck tan, so you just have to be careful doing this. There is no easy way to do this other than to just learn brush control, hold your breath, and just suck it up, buttercup. It's time to paint some friggin' thin lines on a model. Yellow lines on a black model. Yes, that's right. The most difficult things you can do is yellow lines on a black model. Speaking of black, by the way, I need to paint this character. And I need to start out by painting brown, because obviously a black person is not actually black, much like a white person is not white. These are all the colors we need to build up. I still use the Pinkle method underneath the skin tone, because you need the warmth. The warmth is there from the Pinkle and the red. Layering these browns over the top of that Pinkle is what helps to sell the skin tone as if it was real, or at least semi-realistic, because I don't actually paint realistic, but I think you get what I mean. I'm going to try and warm it up a little bit more by adding this Gilliman flesh into the shadows. This would be in place of where I'd be using the good old Orcish dermis to help create a little bit more life in the skin tones. Now moving on to painting the gloves. The gloves are pretty simple, really. I painted them using a black, and once they were painted, they were done. There was no shadows or highlights, really. The only thing I needed to do was the little symbol or emblem that is on the back end of the top of his glove. And this I painted with deck tan. But obviously I'm not going to show you that right now, because I'm going to show you the fingernails. I really thought that's what I painted next. For the fingernails, by the way, I just used a really light skin tone, and I thinned that down to like 90% water and 10% skin tone, and painted that over the fingernails. Here is that part that I was telling you about, where I added the yellow over the little patch on the wrist. But let's just move on. And I painted then the dreadlocks that are on the top of his head, and these are painted in black, a flat matte black from Vallejo, which is a rand color, if you ask me. Is a really good color for this, because it fits. It's such a great color. It goes so nice and matte. And then I used a slightly bluish black to paint the mask. This looks almost identical, but you can tell that there is a difference, and that is what I was going for. I then painted some of the darker parts around his lips, and also painted in the black onto the inside of his eyes, before taking this highlight skin to paint his teeth, which are inside of his lips, which is actually quite a difficult thing. But if you just keep the paint to the tip of your brush, it will minimize the casualties of the lips becoming white on the way in. I then used that exact same color and painted the eyes, and luckily on this model, if you don't like painting pupils, you don't really have to. So when I was done painting the white parts, I was pretty much done. Now hopefully you've learned something in this video, and if you didn't, well, I don't really care, to be totally honest with you. However, I do hope that if you were watching this while sitting on the toilet, you do wash your hands afterwards, because that's gross if you don't. Now I want to say a massive thank you to the sponsors of this video, because obviously without them, it's going to be difficult to keep the lights on. Now, those lights can be on, but they can't blind my eyeballs unless I thank my patrons who really and truly keep those lights blinding my eyeballs, and that is their names going across the screen right now. Of course, we are at the end of another Groundeffected video, and I do want to say thank you so much for all the support and for watching these really crazy videos. And until next time, if you don't like anything you see on this video, I don't really care, and hopefully you will now kindly fuck off. And then everyone will think